All right, guys, we have been live for 1 minute now. All right, so as it happened, it was Der Klassiker, the biggest game uh, in German football. So let's dive into the facts before we actually uh, talk about the match. So I have all these things written with me, and I really hope you are going to enjoy this. We're trying a new thing today. So let's go straight away. We were talking about a face-off between the two strikers, which is Haaland and Lewandowski, and in my opinion, it did not actually live up to the billing, but nonetheless, it was a pretty decent match. Let's go straight away. All right. So all technicalities are okay. So Lewandowski and Erling Haaland, considering the whole situation, the whole uh, all of the events, all of the tournaments, they have 41 goals each. So it was really something to look forward to. Even I predicted a high scoring game which would have uh, goals like six goals, three shared by each, but it turned out to be 1-0. So dive into let's dive into the match in an organized way, not in the way how Bayer Leverkusen defends, but nonetheless, jokes apart, it was uh, the formation that both the teams played. You can see on the screen. They played Borussia Dortmund hosted Bayern Munich, and they played 3-4-3, that generic 3-4-3 that has been really successful in this whole season. Not against PSG though, but that's a different story. You can see Bayern playing a bit of an attacking formation with 4-3-3 attack, with Muller acting as a cam and also as an assisting striker, SS, secondary striker. Nabry and Coman giving pace on the right side, whereas in the Dortmund side, we could see Guerrero and Hakimi, two fast-paced players going through the wings. In defense, we could see Akanji, Hummels, and Piszczek. Piszczek really played a important role in today's game. We could see two off the line of the goal line saves, which was one by Jerome Boateng and the other by Piszczek. So the save that Piszczek made was actually the tougher one, but nonetheless, this is the formations both the teams use. It's 3-4-3 versus 4-3-3 attack. Now, a thing that we looked forward to is the battle of the speed demons. It's Alphonso Davies and Hakimi. In my opinion, I would say that Hakimi was wasn't really in a good shape, but when it comes to Davis, he was really good. He was really good in his defensive chores when we could see he uh, blocked shots by Haaland. He blocked shots by Haaland, and also whenever he makes mistakes, he actually runs back and actually resolves it. So that's a really good trait. I really expected Hakimi to level up his game in this particular match, and I was expecting a really hard fought battle between the two speedsters. But nonetheless, it was a really good game from both of them. Uh, Now let's dive into uh, another thing that is really fascinating. It is the runs which Haaland makes. Haaland actually could not uh, play up to his level, to the level that we were expecting him to play, but uh, the a few runs that we could see from behind the defense, it was really tough for Alaba to like tackle and like uh, save those shots from a big guy like Haaland. And Haaland is not only big, he's strong and he is fast. Believe it or not, he actually can run his hearts out, and definitely is a threat in all aspects of which a striker has. Uh, Now, let's talk about the first 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes, I really thought that Dortmund is going to dominate the rest of the game because Dortmund were creating more chances. But in a statistical analysis, we could see that Dortmund were in one particular area and were not actually moving out, but that actually made them suffer in the latter stage of the game. But in the starting 15 minutes, Bayern was struggling with their transition, struggling to be compact, whereas Dortmund were really swift with their counter attacks, very smooth transitions. We could see very smooth and like clinical transitions made by the Dortmund players, especially by Guerrero and Hakimi on the right hand side. Hazard also added a good amount of pace in the counter attacks, but nonetheless, it did not come off in a really good manner. Two things I want to point out is one, the creativity that Julian Brandt provides. It has been a really slow start for him, but recently Julian Brandt has declared himself that yes, this is my team and I'm going to do good. Though he wasn't at the top of his game in this game, but nonetheless he showed a few sparks of creativity in the match, which was really enjoyable by the viewers back at home. Of course, there's no one in the stadium. The yellow wall was really missed. Right. So let's dive into the best part of the match, which is the goal by Joshua Kimmich. Joshua Kimmich scores a brilliant chip. This is how he celebrates with Gnabry. And let's talk about more about his goal. You might say that yes, what happened is Berkey could have had a better option to fished away the goal. But let's see in a picture format. I'm sorry I can't show you the videos, but let's see in a picture format what actually went through. If you can see Joshua Kimmich, the chip was shot from this position where Berkey was a bit forward because there were a lot of shooting opportunities. Bayern was actually shooting a lot, but this is how Berkey was positioned. And then after the chip, this is the place from where the ball actually got in. Berkey did manage to get a touch. You can see that he got a quite amount of his fingers in the ball, but somehow he slipped it, and it was a goal, and then a good celebration by Joshua Kimmich. So I would say that yes, Berkey did make a mistake. You can see here, and his positioning was also wrong, but nonetheless, it was a really good chip, because in that moment you have to, for Joshua Kimmich, we should do justice and say that yes, in that moment, yes, thinking about that chip, thinking about how to get on with that goal is really commendable. All right, so another thing I believe is the match should not be 1-0 to Bayern Munich. It should be one goal each. It should be 1-1 and it should have been a draw. Here's why. There was a goal by Haaland. I'll show you just now. Of course, not the video. You can see this is the place from where the assist was given. You can see Haaland is marked. He's clearly onside. It's clearly onside, so there's no chance of getting an offside call. And this is how he shoots the ball, and that's Jerome Boateng with his hand. Even though he did not use his hand intentionally, maybe he did, I don't know, but considering he did not use his hand intentionally, the ball is still on target. It could have been a clear-cut goal, and definitely I believe it should have been a penalty. If you see closely, it actually, the hand is blocking the goal, and definitely a penalty. Definitely, undoubtedly, it should have been a clear-cut penalty, and if they could have scored, yes, the score would have been 1-1. Then let's see the stats for once. This is the stats at halftime. In the starting 15 minutes, Borussia Dortmund did have more possession, which is actually really weird. But then as the half carried on, this is the stats, and this is how the first half ended with 0-1, one goal to Bayern Munich. Now let's see how the match ended. The match ended with Borussia Dortmund having more possession than FC Bayern Munich. Distance covered was almost same. Passes completed, everything seems to be same. And challenges won were more by Borussia Dortmund, but off to no use. They were too much defensive at times, and at some point after the second half, I thought Haaland is going to break all hell loose, but nothing of that sort happened. And honestly, I feel that Dortmund could have actually got a victory in that sense, because the way they started off the game, I was really hoping that they would get a couple of goals and we would see a 6-goal thriller or 2-goal thriller, whatever it is. We would see a lot of goals, but that didn't happen. So let's check out the standings. So this is how the table stands right now. Bayern has gone too far for them to catch them. Bayern started off the game with 61 points, Dortmund 57, but then Bayern got another win. So match day 28 at 64 points for Bayern Munich, and that's that. You can see that Leipzig is following behind Dortmund, but I think this is another year where Bayern Munich is going to win. Now that we have discussed that Bayern Munich is going to win, I would before we end this video, I would give a few opinions that are really personal to me, and I know there will be a few people who are actually in line with me, which is Bundesliga really needs a new champion. Bundesliga is very saturated, very saturated, and it's like all the time FC Bayern is going to win. FC Bayern all the time is going to lift the Bundesliga title. So how is this affecting? It's affecting everyone because it decreases the viewership. Why does Premier League have such a huge amount of viewership? Because of the competition. Because once you win the Premier League, you're not pretty sure that you're going to win it again. And if you want to win it again, you have to do something extraordinary, which Man City did. But in Bundesliga, what happens is everybody knows that Bundesliga is going to be championed by FC Bayern, and that's something which hurts the revenue. Something that really hurts the revenue, and that actually decreases the chance of the top teams of Bundesliga to get any kind of European success, because one, for Bayern Munich, they always have something to rely on, that even if they don't get European success, they don't get the UCL, they will have Bundesliga under the belt. And for others, they always know that yes, we are not going to win the Bundesliga, but and in terms of revenue, they don't get as much of as cash, or in the financial terms, they don't get as much freedom to invest in players. But recently, what Dortmund has done is really good, and if they can keep up this team for a season or two, I think they are going to get some good amount of European success. Maybe they will not win the Champions League, but definitely go down really deep. Maybe again a final in the Bundesliga, and definitely with the squad Bayern has, they are actually very capable of winning the Bundesliga. But unless and until they have that hunger, unless and until they have that domestic competition, they're not going to win it, and I'm pretty sure about it. Uh, so if there is anyone who has any questions, uh, let's take it. All right, so nobody has any questions, but then thank you everyone for watching this, and this was our first proper live stream match review of the Dor Klassiker. I'm really happy about it. Hope you liked it, and definitely comment down your views on how you felt and what are the things that should have been done more by the players, which points, which fouls, and all these things. Also, before we leave, there's a foul I would like to talk about, which is uh, the foul uh, that got Davis and also Dahoud a yellow card. Davis' tackle was on Reina, and Dahoud's tackle was on Kimmich. But the common thing is both of them actually got the ball first, and then with the momentum they got the player. So I don't think these are deserving yellow cards, not even for Dahoud and not even for Davis. So that's how the game panned out. Hope you liked it. Hope you're following Bundesliga, because that's the only thing which is giving you uh, live football action in this tiring times and this tough times. So hope you're safe. Hope you're healthy. Hope your family is safe too. And if you like this, please subscribe. You can see. We've listed down all our social media handles. You can find us at the Red Quad Cover in all social media handles. So go and drop a like on a follow, and we'll see you in the next one. Till then,